Okay.
If you like this show, check out the Readiness Lab. Crap, I forgot the rest. Hang on.
Hey, by the way, I think you should start the episode with that.
Started with that.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking. By the way, I realized something while watching this movie.
We're gonna be
very different from the game.
You'll introduce it. Yeah, today we're talking about Twister. Yeah, Twister, the movie, very different than the game.
I had no idea before I watched Twister. I really thought it was about 2 hours of just, Twister is a great example of what real life is, because random choices get made for you and then you suffer. Okay. So, welcome to Movie R, the show about movies, making fun of the disasters that happen in them, and providing an after-action review. So we call it Movie R, because we're kind of movie pirates, if you will, because we're looking at these movies and we're calling out what's real, what's fake, and what you should be doing in these events, kind of having some fun with it. Today, we're going to be talking about Twister, as Patrick just called out. No, not the game. Totally different from the game, but it should be a good time. And it's also a superhero movie, if you didn't know. It's about a man, Bill, who is the tornado whisperer, who can walk up to an F5 tornado and stand there while trucks and houses and barns get swept away, and he's totally fine. He's also the tornado magnet, because despite all the other material around him, only gets attracted to him.
Also the chick magnet. He's got his fiance and ex-girlfriend there.
He's literally hanging out with his ex-girlfriend. No, his ex-wife, who hasn't signed the papers yet, with his fiance in the place that's very charged. That was a weather pun.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, it was electric.
Stop it. Anyways, John,
Storm was brewing in their relationship.
We're going to look over a scene today. We're going to talk about what EMs are doing, what's real, what's fake. We're going to talk about the clip as we're watching it. We're going to rate it. We're going to talk about after everything at the very end. We're going to talk about what you can do possibly during that situation or during this type of hazard that could better prepare you for the future.
All right, let's jump in.
Let's do it.
Okay.
What was that?
I had to remember where I was at so that I could so I edit that out or not. Okay, let's pull up the clip.
This is all now post edit. This is
the pilot. Pilot episode. We should have started off with the movie Airplane, but this would be the pilot episode.
That would be the joke. Hey guys, today we're going to review Airplane. This is the pilot episode. Nah,
also totally realistic movie. Or series of movies. I actually love those movies. Anyways, okay, so which clip do you want to talk about today, Patrick?
If we could talk about the one with the tornado in it.
Oh, I know that one. How about the cows? Let's do
okay. The water spouts and the cows,
Yeah, we'll do water spouts and the cow. That sound good? All right, let's pull that up. Okay, so in this clip, we're going to be talking about an untraditional experience, or at least an unlikely experience with tornadoes. Tornadoes that happen over water. They're called water spouts. And even more uncommon is multiple. So we get to kind of see what the technology happens in the day, because ex-wife and fiance are hanging out in the truck with him because he's a superhero and he can't get off the ground. So here we go. Let's see the two. I mean, it's technically one right there.
We're in the core.
Yeah, we see one.
In the core.
Usually water spouts aren't strong. This one
there you go.
splitting off. Oh, they're sisters. It's one of his arch nemesis.
It's a phone call when you're looking at tornadoes.
How does she have good cell signal out there in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, especially in the 90s.
You're upset. You just gotta breathe. We both just gotta breathe.
It's the satellite phone. Okay, look. How heavy is that cow?
Picks
Truck,
up a cow.
Totally fine.
Doesn't move the truck.
I gotta go.
Where did that cow come from? It was over the water.
How long has that cow been flying with that
The cow
water
is
spout?
Another cow.
Actually, I think that was the same one.
Is this a Chick-fil-A commercial? Or
Rick, what's the fastest liquid on Earth? Milk, because it can pasteurize before you know it.
Jeez.
Damn it, we got drunkards here. We got no path.
We got no path. They're literally driving on a path.
Pour it.
Because for it when they have no path.
Or it,
For it. Before it. The dance. There's the dancing.
or it was a dirt road? No, solid road.
And cow picked up.
Moving it.
Yeah, but it's still stopped.
Good thing he is
No
he's
damage.
really heavy. He's drowning in stuff. Let's look at what's real and what's fake in this. They're driving towards the tornado. I don't think anybody would do that. The water spouts. They did split into two, and there was actually a third one there. While there were cows flying by, it never crossed their mind to turn around. In that situation, you want to turn around and drive away from the twister, from the tornado. That should be obvious. They didn't do that in this case because they love tornadoes so much. They want to be close to them, and they aren't really affected by them. So that part was kind of fake. John, you want to chime in there?
The cow. So if you're looking outside of if we're gonna get like really nerdy here, and a tornado, if the cow is that far away from the water spout, I mean, those were like F1 tornadoes, maybe F0 tornadoes at best. That cow is not making these giant rings around. If you think of like momentum, that cow is going over the moon, if you will. So that was like unrealistic for me, unless there was like, the exact same cow with the exact same spots in there, multiple cows. So also the cow coming over the water. Okay. So that was unrealistic for me. And then obviously you got cows in the sky, as we noted before, and somehow the truck is totally fine. So like that weight of that truck must be pretty heavy, or it's a superhero movie about Bill. But yeah, that's kind of that's what I thought was fake in the thing. But the scenario is real.
Yeah,
Right.
that scenario could happen. Maybe not the cows flying. I mean, what were the cows doing on the water anyway? Maybe were they getting drinks to water? Maybe that's not important.
You know what? Maybe that's not important. But we're here now, right? Okay,
But
so
we're
the
here now.
scenario
We've
is
talked about
real.
it.
Scenario is real. Let's talk about, from the perspective of the emergency managers. There's tornadoes happening right now. What are we doing in the field as emergency managers? I would say it generally, how about this? Generally in a tornado event or tornadic event, we're trying to shut down power, trying to shut down water, trying to save that critical infrastructure, and reduce fires that way. That gets happened lightning fast. That was both the lightning pun and a electricity pun. Anyways, so that happens. Notifications are going out, whether it's small town or not. There's an individual in charge of making sure that, like, making the call, right? Hey, we're gonna make the sirens go off. NOAA's gonna be involved in that process. Yeah, and then immediately after tornado, just like you said, all the stakeholders that get involved in search and rescue and organizing, like there will be local, maybe a local CERT team. Midwest is really famous for actually using their CERT teams, the community emergency response teams. These are volunteers that get trained by firefighters typically, some towns police, and they will be helping find their friends. Sheltering operations will be set up, all kinds of things that would happen in, I would say, a general tornado response. or
Oh yeah, if we're talking general tornado, not just some water spouts. Water spouts could come down,
water spouts are fine.
never
Record it
make
on your
their way to
phone, drive
land.
through it.
And just go right back up into the sky. So if we're talking actual tornado, yeah, we're talking shelters because people's houses have been totally blown away. We're talking they need food, they need clothing, they need cots, they need pillows and blankets, they need hygiene kits. So there'd be a whole maybe donation, definitely be a donation center. There'd be a bunch of shelters. And emergency managers would be working at the county level or city level to get maybe working with state partners or FEMA to get people registered for assistance, to just do damage assessments before you're even turning on electricity or water. You got to assess the facility. So in this moment, they're doing damage assessments to ensure that everyone's safe. Kind of safety is at the top priority.
You know, what happens if the conditions are right, humidity's there, the temperature's there, the wind's there, and you know, as we mentioned earlier, it's charged. I don't know why I said like Trump, charged.
Well, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I'm part of the we here. I am a person too, Patrick. So let's talk about the PSA. What would you say?
I'd say if you're in your car on a highway and you see an underpass, not to get out of your car and go under the underpass or overpass. The recommendation is to get out of your car and to get into a ditch on the side of the road, get to the lowest level possible. It sounds kind of counterintuitive and it sounds really scary, but it's safer than being in a car that's picked up by the tornado and being dropped from hundreds of feet up.
We might add that clip in there, just like that exact scenario happening because they didn't pay attention to the warning. Cue clip.
Jonas, listen to me. This is not
Get off this frequency, Bill.
Jonas, I'm telling you. Eddie, I know you can hear me. Turn around now. Get out of there.
Okay, so that clip is crazy, by the way. Yeah, that's what I'd call out. One last thing is know the difference between a watch and a warning. And so if that notification's coming at your way, understand like, hey, I should be aware of it. They've spotted a funnel. They're kind of watching what's going on. But a warning, you have to take shelter immediately.
Just know your city. They all have different sirens. There's not just one type of siren. There's usually multiple different kinds of sirens for whether the right conditions exist or whether there's one that's already on the ground, or whether there just could be a severe storm. So just good things to know your area. You want to know your city, you want to be part of your community. That's great. Know how to warn people, know how to read the signs when they come.
Read the signs.
Okay,
so we just wrapped up the PSA. We always try to be smart. We let you know what's happening behind the scenes. Patrick and I have been in emergency management for about 20 years combined. We love what we do. We have a lot of fun looking at these movies. We hope you had fun too. Make sure you check out other shows on the Readiness Lab of what we're associated with, like Disaster Tough Podcast, of which I host. It's a little bit more serious, but it has pretty good content there too. And we'll see you for the next video.
see you next week.
Movie R. Movie R. By the way, we're totally gonna have my son do the outro because I have a clip of him going movie R and it sounds super cute. So if you don't want to follow or subscribe us after that, you suck. Movie R.